inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Suman Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. In this video today, I'll be speaking about values, how to find out what your values are. A lot of the times we're told to have values, to demonstrate higher value, to be valuable, to know what your values are. We've all heard of that story, I'm sure, of like a man who, crumbles a dollar bill on the floor and asks, does this still have value? Yes. Does it still have value? Crumble it some more. Does it still have value? Yes. So no matter how life breaks you and tries to crumble you down, you still hold value. So it's important to start from that place of understanding that no matter how much life steps on you, you are still going to hold a value, an exchange of energy. Right? Value is an exchange of energy, just like money is energy. It's an exchange, right? It's a currency. You have a spiritual currency, emotional currency. You have lots of different types of currency, okay? And a currency. So it's like electricity. One of the first ways that I would definitely recommend as a flow state coach and a positive psychologist is to do something called the VIA, or the Values in Action Character Strengths Test, okay? The Character Strengths Quiz. That's really helped me because that has given me more of a permission slip to actually step into my full power and my top strengths. Now my top strengths are, I believe, creativity, humor, and perspective. Perspective being the top one, okay? So really starting to understand that, it's given me much more of a leverage and understanding that, okay, I can apply that. I can be able to lean on that. I can use that, and I can find that strength and search for that strength in moments of stress, or moments where I'm lost, or moments where I need a little bit more strength. So in those times, that's the time, in those moments when I feel most low, that's the time that I use my strength. And also, if I just want to excel, right? If I want to overproduce, if I want to push myself, I also allow myself to tap into my VIA, or Values in Action, strengths. Another way that you can quickly find out your values, your top values, is to look at your internet history and your bank statement history. Okay? Your internet history tells you where your values are. Okay? What are you looking up a lot of the time? What is it showing? Are you noticing some patterns there? Okay? The second thing, what are you spending your money on? What are you valuing monetarily? Okay, what are you spending your money on? That's giving you some indication of your values too, right? So your internet history, as well as your bank history, your bank statement, your bank account, basically, of what you purchased. The next thing that I would say is choose 3 to 6 people that you're inspired by, that you admire. What values do they have? What are the values that they give out? What is the vibe that they give out, okay? Really focusing on that will give you some indication of your own values as well. Okay, so this is another lens to look at it, from the people that you truly admire. So your values come from your beliefs, and they change your behavior. Your values actually shift and transform your behavior. So the best advice that I can give you is to think of your ultimate character, your best self, and then think, in terms of a mental exercise, what values would that character have? What values would the best version of you have? And then try to adopt those values in yourself today. Okay? Because we know that values can change your behavior. It's really going to help us when we decide right now what they are, because we've already established, like, this is ourselves in the future having those values, right? So now we're reverse engineering this thing. Another incredible advice that I would say in terms of this is to think back to the times that you were in a peak experience or flow state in your life, okay? These are the highlight reels of your whole life to the time that you've lived to this day. Think about those specific moments, those peak experiences, and ask yourself, what were the values that you honored during that time? During that one performance, during the time that maybe you had a child, maybe you gave, an incredible, maybe you found a mentor at the time, right? Whatever it was, What was that moment like for you that just spoke volumes? Maybe you moved to a new city and it changed you forever, right? Whatever it was, there was one moment in your life that just completely transformed you. Think back to those moments. Hopefully there's more than one, okay? But if not, we're going to have to start creating more peak experiences, okay? This is the reason you guys are watching these videos. The more micro flow you can create, the more macro flow you create, okay? So having a mindfulness practice, having some place where you can actually create that flow state daily in some craft that you're exploring it will really help you to build those peak experiences or those great moments, right? Because it's just showing the universe that you deserve it, right? When you're doing it, the little things every day, it's making much more room, possibility, opportunity for the bigger things, the macro. Another way to do it is to think of your suppressed values, okay? Your suppressed values. Now think to a time where you're feeling incredibly frustrated, angry, like completely just not yourself at all. Like, you got upset, you were frustrated. What was going on and what were you feeling during that time? Now flip around those feelings. What value is being suppressed? What value aren't you tapping into that you know is within you? What value do you need? Okay? It's important to ask yourself these questions. What are the personal values that you need or a part of yourself withers away? What's the most important thing in your life? That's a good question to find your value. What's the most important thing in your life? What are the most important things in your life? Is it creative self-expression? Is it a strong sense of health and vitality? Is it a sense of adventure? Is it being surrounded by beauty? Is it being around family? Is it always learning? What is valuable to you? And I would say to get into this deep level value work, what you really want to be doing is starting from no mind or beginner's mind. So completely empty out the vessel. Get super relaxed. And then ask yourself these questions. Then go on this journey to really, explore your subconscious. Then start journaling about them. Okay? Because right away, when you think of these values, you're not going to get much. One last thing that I want to leave this video with is think about the different areas of your life, right? Your health, your wealth, your love, your relationships, right? Your focus, your creativity. And then I want you to think of a value for each of those areas. I think the VIA does this well with, different styles of character strengths. So the big virtues would be like temperance, wisdom, courage, humanity, justice, transcendence. Okay? These are the big ones here. Okay? And within them, then you have things like perseverance, perspective, self-regulation, which is temperance, spirituality, which is transcendence, zest, which is courage. So you have these virtues, and those virtues are like the themes, and within those virtues are the values. Okay? So think about the virtues that you first stand for. There's 4 Stoic virtues that I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with, which is wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control, or temperance. Some people also call it moderation. Okay, so within those, think of the different values that stand within each of those, or you can even split it up into other ones like transcendence. I love that one too because that's one of my values too. So don't limit yourself to only 12 or only 2 or only 5. Keep exploring the ones that mean something to you and keep applying them. The whole point of these values is that we apply them in our lives, okay? And we shape our lives based on that one character who carries those values with them, and that's what integrity is, right? That's what makes you a person of value, is when you can carry those behavior traits, those values, those virtues and strengths with you wherever you are going. Okay, so I hope you find value in this video today. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary.